Here we are going down the South Canol in January with our skidoos and packed up, going to a trapper's cabin, our friend George's cabin, and having a good time here on the way. George is setting traps on the way. We'll see if we catch anything on the way back. All right.
So here we are at the start of our adventure on the South Canol Road. It's me and the boy getting our skidoo ready. That's a bear cat. There's my daughter, Katie. And there's George, whose trapper cabin we're going to go to. There's a trap line up here. Beautiful country. As you can see, it's one of our first stops. There's my wife driving her snowmobile. She got off the trail. She got a bit stuck here. It took a bit, but we got that free. And away we go. It's interesting. It looks like there's different eras of time here, but it's just how the light would strike the trees. It's fairly low still, the sun here in January. And some really nice country. It's about -20, so that's not too bad. These kids still had trouble. They were entering the trapping area there. They have these nice little signs to what's up with George. Set the trap. And there we are at his cabin. So this cabin was a wonderful cabin. George had some snare work that he was doing here. That cabin is very, very well built. So there's a lot of teaching here. We kind of took this as a teaching trip, and there's a big that's a Wolverine hat that George's uncle had made. I think that's a wolf track, if I remember right. There he is setting a marten trap. Here we go.
This is where a moose lay down.
And show the wolf track, son.
And there's a bunch of wolf tracks around here, too. Looks like they're playing around.
There you go. Hi, George.
Hey.
So there's some set. That's a cone bear trap. Instant kill. It's a box set with some very stinky bait. There's the box there. There's a trap in the bottom that...
Now.
This is lynx trap. It's a big one, and he hardly sinks into the snow at all. His feet are about that big, and they're just like snowshoes, built-in snowshoes.
Those are pretty cool.
Yeah. And I'll go set a wolf track on that wolf trail over there. So we'll try not to make too much more tracks here.
There's my daughter again. So George works with the Department of Education and spent a lot of time teaching our kids and ourselves. There's some otter slide. The otter went down there into that nice little water. Nice open water.
Hello, preparing for lunch.
It's finally lunch. It's great to see someone else and how they do things. It's a little different method than I've used, but similar. And we're about to start lunch soon here. Our kids are looking forward to that.
Greg, you're on film. Anything to say?
Oh, pot of tea would be nice. There's a pot there too, Jane, my pot.
Okay, I'll go get it.
So these were moose sausages. They were good. just like candy. My son said this was the best stop ever. I think they enjoyed getting their toes warm again.
Okay, so I guess you start.
4.
Back at the cabin, they played
Aye.
games.
Where'd you guys
Moose
get him?
was a big favorite.
18, does that mean anything? 2, 3, no, that's a 5 in there.
And that's the following morning. This is around the cabin. Beautiful cabin. Very well made. It's 30 years old. Made by George's family. Very, very well built. Most proof. Very precisely built. There's the Yamaha Venture. It's been a pretty good machine. Had that for going on 15 years now. There's some shots of the cabin. And it's a beautiful spot. There's another one of the games played by our kids. You can see a lot of candlelight inside. George is giving it one last go before we leave. And there's the kids there. Didn't want to go.
So here we are on the Canol Road. We're just came back onto the South Canol. We're heading for our truck, which is parked 25 miles away now, 30 miles away maybe. And it's been a good trip. We stayed in the cabin. We do have all our stuff here. Believe it or not, in there is a wood stove and a small tent, sleeping bags for 4, all our survival gear, and we didn't have to use much of it, which is nice because we were in a nice cabin. So another hour we'll be at the truck, and one more hour we'll be at the truck, and then we got about an hour and a half home. We're just waiting for George now. We're about 10 miles ahead of him, maybe 7 miles ahead of him, and make sure that he doesn't break down. So we'll be happy to see him, and we'll proceed on our way. Nice day, about minus 20.
Hi there. Here I am with my 2 snowmobile buddies. Sometimes I'm with James, and sometimes I'm with Katie. And they're both great, and they're both great at helping me lead. Thank you.
Here's our 2 skidoos. This is our old Yamaha we've had since Aglulip in Nunavut. It's an old 485. It's got a bit of a Franken windshield. We got a few cracks in it. I fixed it up with some sheet metal, and it's been an okay skidoo. Not a great cold weather starter, but once it's warmed up, it's pretty good. We tried out this Bearcat. Personally, I wouldn't give you 25 cents for it. It's enormously heavy. I can't lift the back end of it. Tends to be a bit of a submarine in deep snow. Especially, it doesn't have the articulated track, so when you reverse, it just plows in. Seems like a good strong machine on the nice trail, but she's pretty heavy, and I think a little bit underpowered. There's the family. There's our overloaded sled. We probably should have 2 sleds for our next expedition, and we could load them a little lower, although we got all the heavy weight at the bottom. It's been okay. And there's the family again. Yeah, Yukon family, pretty good.
There we are on the way home, and got a bit ahead of George. George is looking for Martin. Martin going for about $100 each, so he just set some traps, so he's going to check them on the way out, and we're a bit ahead of the game here, getting ready to go home. It's a school day the next day for the kids, so gotta get back. We're all sad to be leaving. can see it's getting a bit darker.
Mom,
I know.
Training probably for a Yukon Quest, and there we are at the end, putting the toboggan back in the truck, and there's a couple of kids. They had a very good experience. There's George. George cut up to us.
Feel where the trap hit him back here and broke his neck.
Oh.
The other one hit him right back here. So it got clunked right here.
Okay, George, you're on camera.
You betcha.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did he get his arm hit also?
No.
Oh, his arm was up, but it just fell down.
George and his Martin on film. Congratulations.
So it's a bit gruesome, but it's part of life, and I think the kids really appreciated learning a little bit about what it would be like to be a trapper. So it was a fantastic experience for us and our family, and got a real appreciation for the hard work. And getting ready to go, and stopped at Jake's Corner for a final meal here before heading back to normalcy. Thanks for watching.